Were you talking to her in the hallway?
She made a comment to her in the hallway. We were talking to her about testing, and I said something that I didn't.
Were you sitting next to each other in the courtroom? You know I can get video from the courtroom.
Oh, yeah, I
So
understand that. Yeah, she was sitting next to me.
you're not to have contact with her. You know that.
And just like that, boom, bond revoked. The judge doesn't raise his voice, doesn't argue. It's the speed that makes this moment so powerful. Judges rarely act this fast unless the violation is crystal clear. Remember, when you're on bond, every movement, every contact, every word can count against you. What we just saw wasn't anger, it was enforcement. The law doesn't operate on emotion. It runs on accountability. So here's a question for you. Was the judge too harsh here? Or was this the only fair call to make?
Forget the testing. Defendant's bond at this time is revoked. Defendant's
Good morning,
remanded.
Sylvana Reed, Assistant
If
Public
this
Defender with
go
and
up
on behalf
before
of
Judge
Mr.
Slay.
Ruggs.
All right. This is going to be a waiver.
That is correct.
Mr. Ruggs, you signed this examination waiver.
Yes, I did, sir.
You understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed and that you committed it.
Yes, sir.
And you understand that you'll not have that hearing and that you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes, sir.
People also waive their right. Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on count 1 with 2 following.
And just like that, boom, bond revoked. The judge doesn't raise his voice, doesn't argue. It's the speed that makes this moment so powerful. Judges rarely act this fast unless the violation is crystal clear. Remember, when you're on bond, every movement, every contact, every word can count against you. What we just saw wasn't anger, it was enforcement. The law doesn't operate on emotion. It runs on accountability. So here's a question for you. Was the judge too harsh here? Or was this the only fair call to make?
Street.
Thank you. We would acknowledge receipt of the information, waive any further reading, and stand mute.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial will be set for
27th at 1:30 before Judge Slate Thursday.
June 27, 2024, 1:30 Slade Thursday. Bond with its conditions will continue. Yes.
The note in my file from the other APA that you saw in violation review that's today.
Yeah.
The May 17th, 2024 bond violation report.
I do. Is there a reason why you were missing? You were testing elsewhere, weren't you?
No, sir. I was told that I needed a court order, and I was on video Zoom with you on my last court order, and nobody contacted me and told me where to go.
Why didn't they?
I do have information about a facility that he would like to test at. He lives in Macomb County. We
Yeah, I'm on GPS. Oh, I'm sorry.
called them and they indicated as long as the order indicates what sort of panel needs testing and the frequency.
Well, that was supposed to be done before. If I give you a test today, are you going to test?
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to fail for would be marijuana.
Why are you using that?
This moment right here is raw honesty in a courtroom. The defendant admits past addiction and ongoing marijuana use, and you can almost feel the tension ease for a second because he's being real. But transparency doesn't always win leniency. Judges weigh words like these carefully. They can show accountability or signal risk of relapse. Notice how the tone shifts from confession to consequence. It's a reminder that honesty is respected, but compliance is required. Do you think his openness helped him or hurt him in this case?
Can I speak freely?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm gonna be up and honest with you. I used to have a crack cocaine addiction, and I've come a long way. I've been through a lot, this past few months. I lost my father, my grandmother. There's no excuses. It's just the only thing that I've helped to.
Give me an order. Okay, he's going to go over to community corrections test today. I'll get the results and then I'll determine what his bond will be as he proceeds up, because he's told me what's going to happen, and then we'll figure out. In the meantime, counsel can prepare an order so that he can test in Macomb. Okay.
Okay. And then just to be clear for the record, the waiver is complete and we're only coming back on whether or not they'll be remanded.
Pardon?
The waiver's all set now.
Well, technically, no. Because, technically to retain jurisdiction, but I still have jurisdiction anyway. So he needs to go over and test, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nicole, on behalf of the people.
And here it is, the turning point. The assistant public defender reveals what no one expected. The victim was actually sitting right beside the defendant, inside the courtroom, and they were speaking in the hallway afterward. That's a major violation of a no-contact order. This isn't a misunderstanding. It's a direct breach of the judge's trust. In domestic violence cases, even the appearance of contact can trigger immediate consequences. Imagine the judge's perspective here. How do you enforce a boundary when the defendant ignores it right in front of you?
Silvana Reed, Assistant Public Defender with and on behalf of Mr. Ruggs.
As we were walking out of the courtroom, I went to release the deputy who was present. I did not believe that the victim of the domestic violence was present today because she didn't check in with us. As we were leaving, the deputy let me know that the victim was actually present today with the defendant sitting beside him. As we exited into the hallway so that I could see who the deputy was referring to, the defendant was speaking to Ms. Perkins out in the hallway, and the deputy confirmed that that is the victim. There, as I understand it, based on everything that's filed, there's no contact order. In that, in addition to the corrections violation, I'm requesting that he be remanded and that his bond be revoked.
Mr. Allen, thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I have no further information at this time.
Does he admit to the violation?
You're on. That's right.
If you wish.
She wasn't here with me today, Your Honor.
This is the exact moment the case collapses. The judge gives one last chance for an explanation. Were you sitting next to her? And when the defendant says yes, the gavel might as well drop right there. In court, admission is everything. It's not just about breaking a rule. It's about breaking the court's trust. From a legal standpoint, bond revocation is immediate and justified. But from a human standpoint, you can almost see the disbelief. A single act, maybe out of arrogance or emotion, just cost him his freedom.
Sometimes these hearings remind us life can flip in seconds. One bad choice, one wrong move, and the judge decides your fate. If you're still watching, make sure to hit subscribe because every case tells a lesson most people never see until it's too late.
Were you talking to her in the hallway?
Oh, yeah, I
So-
understand that. Yeah, she was sitting next to me.
You're not to have contact with her. You know that. Forget the testing. Defendant's bond at this time is revoked. Defendant's remanded. It'd just go up before Judge Slay. I'll just leave it there.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
In Judge Simpson's courtroom, what started as a routine bond review turned into a moment of reckoning.
In Judge Simpson's courtroom, justice moved fast. What began as a chance for leniency turned into a lesson in accountability. Mr. Ruggs' decision to sit beside the very person he was ordered to avoid sealed his fate. His bond? Revoked. His next stop? Circuit Court for further proceedings. This case is a stark reminder. When the court gives you a boundary, crossing it isn't brave, it's self-destructive.
Mr. Ruggs, already under watch for a violation, was caught sitting beside the one person he was legally forbidden to contact, the victim, Miss Perkins. The judge's patience vanished the moment he realized what had happened. His tone shifted, his authority took over, and within seconds, the bond was revoked. There were no long speeches, no second chances, just swift justice. This case shows how fragile trust can be inside a courtroom. One wrong step and everything you've built can collapse right in front of the bench. Whether it's arrogance, carelessness, or emotion, the system doesn't bend for excuses. This was Judge Simpson, firm and unforgiving. If you found this case eye-opening, subscribe and stay tuned, because every hearing tells a story about choices, consequences, and the thin line between freedom and custody.